All right then, I've decided to embark on a trip with my mom. You, on the other hand, can stay at home, okay? I was left utterly speechless. However, this journey is the prize I won in a contest, and it comes with a condition. If the winner doesn't use the ticket, it becomes invalid. I attempted to convey this, but my husband, Mike, interjected with an outrageous statement, suggesting that if I didn't like it, we should get a divorce. Puzzled, I sought clarification. I explained that if he couldn't comply with my wishes, then we might consider a divorce. His words instantly cooled the affectionate feelings I once had for him. My name is Emma, a 31-year-old office worker. Having attended an all-girls school from middle school until university, I entered society without ever engaging in a proper conversation with a man. My busy work life left no room for love, and before I knew it, I was 27. Realizing the need for change, a friend set up a blind date for me. I met my first boyfriend, a freelancer who falsely claimed to be an office worker. Unfortunately, he became unemployed after we started dating, relying entirely on me. Swiftly, I ended the relationship. The experience with my first boyfriend intensified my aversion to men, making it difficult for me to trust them easily. Consequently, I reached the age of 31 without having had a boyfriend at all. My parents were even more concerned about my marital status than I was. Both my father and mother had tied the knot several years before they reached my age, and this fact left them feeling rather impatient on my behalf. In the contemporary era, it's not uncommon for people to marry in their 50s, but during that time, the acceptable age for marriage was around 27. Feeling the pressure, my father presented me with several offers of arranged marriages, insisting that if I lacked a boyfriend or partner, he would find one for me. Initially, I declined these proposals multiple times. However, I gradually started feeling guilty about continuously turning down my father's offers. Moreover, I sensed that both my parents, as my only daughter, earnestly wished for my happiness. Motivated by a desire to reciprocate their love and concern, I decided to adopt a positive outlook. I agreed to go on a blind date to demonstrate my gratitude to my parents. It was during one of these blind dates that I encountered William, who eventually became my current husband. William, aged 31 like myself, had similarly attended an all-boys school throughout his life and had not experienced love with a girl. What endeared him to me was his unwavering devotion to his parents. Even as an adult, he continued to visit their home regularly, organizing trips for them and joining them on vacations. He demonstrated a commendable personality and maintained a successful professional life in a company. I obtained his business card and double-checked it meticulously. I approached this with great caution due to a mistake in my previous relationship. Despite my vigilance and thorough scrutiny, nothing seemed amiss with William. I felt confident that he was trustworthy. With this assurance, we continued dating. William, recognizing my shyness, took the lead and cared for me exceptionally well. Over time, my attraction to him deepened. After 2 years of dating, William proposed, and we happily tied the knot. Upon sharing the news with my parents, they were overjoyed, shedding tears of happiness. I not only felt that I had found a good man, but also took immense satisfaction in being able to care for my parents in this way. Following the wedding ceremony, we embarked on our honeymoon, beginning our married life with happiness. Both being employed, my husband and I divided household chores. Given his lack of culinary skills, I handled the cooking while he took charge of laundry and cleaning duties. Initially, our relationship as a couple was harmonious, and I believe we enjoyed a happy married life, providing mutual support. However, just 2 years into our marriage, things took a turn. The catalyst was the passing of my father-in-law due to an illness. Subsequently, my husband's focus shifted significantly towards caring for my mother-in-law, Sophia, who was left alone. On William's days off, he devoted time to visiting Sophia at her house, and occasionally, they would go out together independently. After work, he even dropped by Sophia's place for dinner, sharing moments alone with her. Furthermore, there were instances when he embarked on trips exclusively with Sophia. I vividly remember the morning he left for a trip with his travel bag. Naively, I inquired if it was a business trip, only to be met with the surprising revelation that he was traveling with his mother to Dallas. At that moment, I couldn't believe that he not only failed to inform me about the trip, but also chose to keep it a secret. If I hadn't asked, he wouldn't have bothered to tell me. Can you truly disrespect your own wife to this extent, regardless of your care for your mother? That was the unsettling sentiment that lingered within me. It's not that he completely disregards me, but I believe he has surpassed being family-oriented and entered the realm of being a mama's boy. Yet, my husband appears unwilling to alter his attitude or lifestyle. In fact, he seems oblivious to the fact that his actions might be wrong. Nevertheless, I chose to compromise and accept the situation, thinking this is just how he is for the time being. I contemplated the idea that divorcing after only a year of marriage would deeply upset my parents. If we were to have a child, perhaps my husband's attitude might change. I believe divorce shouldn't be pursued hastily, and thus I resigned myself to this train of thought. In an effort to find solace, I decided to pursue a hobby of my own and have recently developed a fondness for entering contests to win prizes. Engaging in various contests, I've won items like cosmetics and food, finding unexpected joy in writing reviews. Then, in one such contest, I won a pair of airline tickets to Mangalao. The news was so astonishing that I had to read the email about 3 times, never having won such a substantial prize before. To ensure it wasn't a scam, I thoroughly checked the email, confirming its legitimacy. It didn't lead me to any suspicious links or request my credit card number. This meant that I had indeed won the Mangalao trip, and now, it appears I need to contact the airline in advance to redeem the travel tickets. The question lingered in my mind. Whom should I share this travel opportunity with? My husband had recently gone on a trip to Dallas with Sophia. I contemplated asking my friends or parents for company, and finally, the decision dawned on me. I opted to gift the travel tickets to my parents, allowing them to relish a well-deserved trip. Upon reaching my parents' house, I shared the news. They were surprised, given that it had been years since we traveled abroad. Expressing concern, my father questioned the decision. "Are you sure about this, Emma? It's your win." I reassured them, insisting that it was my way of occasionally spoiling them. They gratefully accepted, and I couldn't help but feel delighted to witness their happiness. However, the joy was short-lived when my father discovered a stipulation on the tickets. They were non-transferable and couldn't be sold, meaning I couldn't gift them to my parents. Disappointed, my father resignedly accepted the situation, suggesting that I go on the trip with my husband. Reluctantly agreeing with my parents' advice, I decided to join my husband on the journey. Upon returning home that night, I noticed a woman's coat by the front door. It struck a chord. It was Sophia's coat. Intrigued, I entered the living room to find her watching TV. "Emma, did you just get home? It's your day off. What were you doing out so late?" she inquired. Apologetically, I explained that I had no idea she was at our house. Sophia defended her presence, questioning if it was wrong for her to visit her son's home. I reassured her that it wasn't, albeit with a lingering sense of uncertainty. Sophia's demeanor towards me seemed a bit more amicable when my father-in-law was alive. However, ever since his passing, she has become notably strict and cold. One day, as I entered the house with a bag on my arm, Sophia couldn't help but notice. "What's this? What did you buy?" she inquired, eyeing the bag that contained a Mangalao trip guidebook I had purchased on my way home. "Oh, it's nothing," I replied casually. "Just show it to me," she insisted abruptly. Perplexed, I hesitated, but Sophia forcibly took the bag from me. "Mangalao, are you just trying to treat yourself? What are you doing with William's earnings?" she questioned, catching me off guard. I was taken aback. I had never relied on William's earnings in such a manner before. "I won a pair of travel tickets in a contest, so I thought I would go on the trip with my husband," I explained. "Really? Is that so? A prize, huh?" Sophia's mood suddenly shifted and she expressed excitement. A sense of foreboding crept over me as her demeanor changed. Just then, my husband entered the living room, having just finished his bath. "Oh, Emma, welcome back. What's wrong? I heard my mother's happy voice all the way from the bath," he remarked. I took a deep breath and shared the news with both of them. "I won a trip to Mangalao in a contest, and I've decided to go with you, William. I even bought a guidebook for it," I said, anticipating their reactions. "That's great! Wow!" William responded enthusiastically. Yeah," I replied, still processing the interaction with Sophia. "So, how many people can go on that trip?" I asked, hoping to steer the conversation away from any potential conflict. The revelation of winning a pair of travel tickets meant that it would be just the 2 of us on the trip. However, my husband fell silent, glancing at Sophia's face, who seemed to be ingratiating herself to him with wide, eager eyes, akin to a dog awaiting a treat. With a sudden decision, my husband declared, "Well then, I'm going on the trip with my mom. You stay at home, okay?" Huh? I was left completely speechless. I had never realized the extent of William's attachment to his mother. This revelation caught me off guard. This is what I won from the contest, you know, I tried to reason, expecting a shared excitement as a couple. So what's yours is mine, right? And what's mine is my mom's. William's response baffled me. No, what kind of logic does he have? I thought. Besides, you and Sophia just went on a trip a few weeks ago. To my surprise, Sophia interjected, "This and that have nothing to do with each other. William paid for that one, and it was just a domestic trip. I haven't been on an overseas trip in years. I'm so excited." I protested. Hey, I didn't even agree to the fact that both of you will be going on the trip, you know. William, seemingly unmoved, added another layer to the dispute. Besides, the ticket would be invalid if the winner won't be there. I attempted to interject, explaining the situation, but my husband cut me off with an outrageous statement, refusing to acknowledge my words. "If you don't like it, then we'll get a divorce." Excuse me? I was taken aback. I said, if you can't listen and obey what I say, then we'll get a divorce. His unexpected ultimatum left me in disbelief, instantly cooling the affectionate feelings I had towards my husband. I comprehend your stance. Go ahead and do as you wish. But why didn't you express your decision sooner? Your self-centeredness is quite apparent. Both William and Sophia wore triumphant expressions, as if they had emerged victorious from a significant battle. While engrossed in the guidebook they had taken from me, they enthusiastically mapped out their travel plans together. Meanwhile, I found myself contemplating my plans for life post-divorce. Upon my husband's instruction, I contacted the airline as directed. To my dismay, I discovered that the interaction was merely a confirmation. I was informed that I couldn't transfer these tickets to my husband or any other relatives, even if I couldn't use them. When I questioned the operator about this restriction, I received a firm response. Sorry, but you're not allowed to give away the tickets, even to your family or relatives. Acknowledging the logic behind this policy, I told the operator, well, in that case, I would like to decline the airline tickets that I won in the contest, and promptly hung up the phone. I then informed my husband about the situation, urging him to review the terms and conditions of the tickets. In response, he scoffed, dismissing the need to read them, and carelessly left the tickets on the shelf. It seemed he hadn't considered the possibility that the tickets were invalid. Frustrated, I shared this development with my parents, seeking their assistance. I hoped to turn the day of William and Sophia's trip into an opportunity for change. I decided to make a change and moved out of the house. When my father learned about the situation, he was genuinely shocked. "I never thought that William was such a person," he exclaimed. It struck him even more since he had been the one to propose the idea of the arranged marriage with William. I reassured my father, telling him it wasn't his fault and tried to ease his worry, emphasizing that William had only recently revealed his true nature. On the day of their trip, my husband was in high spirits as he prepared to leave. I, too, was curious to witness his and Sophia's reactions at the airport. "Well, I'm off. Take care of the house while I'm gone," he said, grinning broadly. I wished him well with a forced smile on my face, and he looked a bit taken aback by my seemingly cheerful demeanor as I saw him off. Shortly after my husband departed, my parents arrived at the house. Together, we loaded my belongings into their car and headed to the new place I had found. The search for a room began the moment I grew weary of my marriage. I located a pleasant apartment near my office and decided to move in right away. The process of moving was swift, and I soon found myself in a comfortable and tranquil environment. About 2 hours later, my husband called me. "Hello," I answered. "Oh, hey, what's going on?" he inquired. "They said that our airline tickets are invalid," he revealed. "Yes, that's right. If the winner doesn't accompany, then the tickets are invalid." "Huh? I didn't hear anything about that." "I told you, didn't I? I told you to check the terms and conditions. It's all written right there." "You've got to be kidding me. I wouldn't even read that." "Well, then that's just your fault for not reading it right. It's the same as someone who gets sued and says they didn't know anything about the law." "What am I supposed to do?" "I already booked a hotel in Mangalao, and they told me I'd have to pay for our own ticket fees. Like I said, it's none of my business anymore, so you and Sophia should just take care of it." With that, I said my piece and hung up the phone. 20 minutes later, my husband called again. "What now?" "Hey, why can't I pay with your card?" "Huh? My card? What do you mean?" "The card that you're using as a sub." With panic, I checked the drawers and found out that my card, which I had been using as a substitute, was gone. You took the card without my permission? I was only borrowing it for a little while, but I was told by the airline staff that I can't use this card. What the hell is going on? Are you stupid? If you're not the owner of the card, you can't use it. But on the internet. Huh? Internet? Oh no. And he hung up the phone. No way. I was left in disbelief at the unfolding events. I promptly scrutinized my credit card statement for the substitute card and discovered a series of unfamiliar transactions that I had no recollection of authorizing. It dawned on me that my husband had been making numerous purchases, including clothes and other items, using my card without my consent. Swiftly, I halted the card and captured a screenshot of the statement history, intending to address the issue and seek reimbursement. A few days later, I received a call from my husband, who had returned from his 3 days and 2 nights trip to Manjalao. Hey, what's the meaning of this? I don't see any of your stuff and belongings in our house anymore, and you left the divorce papers on the table. What the hell are you thinking? Well, I can't go on living with a mama's boy like you, who prioritizes his own mother and treats his own wife like a thief, using my credit card without any permission, I responded. What? If you won't sign the divorce papers, then let's fight over it in court. Court? Oh, are you in trouble? If people at work find out about this, I'll request my divorce through my lawyer, so you better quietly obey the request. No way, I retorted, unwilling to concede easily. The situation had escalated, and the prospect of a legal battle loomed over our already strained relationship. My ex-husband reluctantly acquiesced to the terms, agreeing to the divorce. The agreement stipulated no division of property, with him also taking responsibility for the credit card bills he had accrued without my consent. However, my quest for retribution did not conclude there. While I refrained from disclosing the events that transpired, uncertainty lingered about my father's response, especially considering he had initiated the marriage proposal. As anticipated, my ex-husband called me, expressing discontent. This is not what we agreed on. Everyone at work knows about what happened. They talk about me behind my back, and I'm now labeled a mama's boy and a thief. I can't walk with my head held high in my company. What a pity, I remarked. Though I chose to remain silent on the matter, it was crucial to remind him that our marriage involved numerous individuals. I prompted him, "Did you forget that many people were involved in our marriage?" He seemed taken aback as I continued. Yes, this marriage was arranged through a connection between my father, a general manager in a company department, and your boss, who is a department head in your company. My father and your boss were great friends, and our blind date was facilitated by the fact that your boss had a commendable bachelor staff member working under him. I wanted him to realize the broader implications of our divorce, not just on a personal level, but in the context of the connections that had orchestrated our union. The intricate web of relationships within our marriage extended beyond the two of us. My ex-husband's boss was irate over the entire ordeal. William found himself ousted from the career track and faced chilly reception from his colleagues. The workplace atmosphere had turned distinctly unfavorable towards him. As for Sophia, the details of the incident had leaked to her neighbors, resulting in an alienation from the community. Now secluded in her home, she grappled with the consequences of her actions. Despite the challenges they faced, I harbored no sympathy for William and Sophia, feeling that they had reaped what they had sown. On a personal note, my commitment and hard work at the office bore fruit, leading to a well-deserved promotion and an accompanying salary raise. In celebration, I decided to treat my parents to an overseas trip. We fulfilled our long-standing desire to visit Italy, creating cherished memories as a family. This tumultuous experience served as valuable introspection. Although I encountered unexpected hardships, I am determined to learn from them, aspiring to find a genuine and loving partner in the future. The revelation that William was not only a mama's boy, but also a thief left me astonished. When someone reaches that point, it becomes challenging to extend any further assistance or understanding. I am grateful that my family, particularly Emma's family, has weathered these challenges together, emerging stronger. This episode has reaffirmed the importance of familial bonds and resilience in the face of adversity.